Hello and welcome to Informatics in Healthcare. My name is Diane Lebanowski and I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. I'd like to welcome you to this course. I think you'll find it an exciting course that is filled with information and is going to give you a great background in your nursing education. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I have a fairly extensive background in nursing education. I've taught in a 2-year program, a university setting. Presently, I'm teaching full-time online in a university setting and also working for Aspen University. I do have 3 grown children and 1 very cute grandchild, because every grandchild is cute. And in my spare time, I do love to golf, travel, and spend time with my friends. I am into reading book clubs, so you could say I do like to read in my spare time, which isn't a lot these days. You can reach me at my email address, which is listed here. I do try to answer your emails within 24 hours. On occasion, it may be 48 hours, but I do my best to get back to you within 24 hours. Over the weekend, I will answer within 48 hours. I usually start grading on Tuesdays, but please know that instructors at Aspen University have up to 7 days to grade. So at times when I do get busy, I will grade on Saturdays and Sundays. Please take time to introduce yourself and meet your fellow classmates. What I want to point out in this brief orientation video is how to navigate this course and some important things about this course. It is always important that you go to your news when you log into the course, because this is where I will post announcements about the class, anything current, things about the discussion board or your assignments that I think is important for you to know. In this section here is the course policies, and I will be removing this additional activities because in this course that is not an option, and that will be done as soon as I'm done doing this video. What you need to focus on is the late policy and the plagiarism policy. In this course, any assignment that is not handed in by the due date, which is Monday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or for your discussion posts, it's Thursday of that week, 11:59 Mountain Standard Time, you would get a 10% grade reduction. However, I do understand that everyone is busy. You have jobs, you have families, you have many things going on in your life. So if you email me ahead of time and let me know that you're going to hand in the paper a day or 2 late, I will allow it and will not take off the 10%. Please note that if this is a habitual occurrence, that then you might receive the 10% grade reduction. This is to be safe for those emergency situations where something has come up and you really can't get the paper in. After 1 week with no communication and no submission, that grade will be a 0 and will remain a 0 until the end of the course. So please try to get your assignments in a timely manner. Then we're going to skip down to plagiarism. You all have the ability to see your Turnitin score before you hand in your paper. When the scores are between 25 and 30%, I will take a look at them and apply the filters. But anything over 30% raises a red flag. So I will most likely send those papers back to you and say, please rephrase, do what you need to do to get this Turnitin score down. When you've done it, resubmit it and email me that you have done this. If your scores continually remain high with no effort to make changes, that's when we are required to report that to the registrar's office. So just Turnitin is there to help you, not to scare you, and to make sure that you are using it so that you can make sure you're giving credit where credit is due. So check your scores before you hand in your paper if you're having high scores, and this information tells you how to do it. You may resubmit your paper up to 3 times before your final submission. Just make sure that when you decide this is your last submission, that you mark it and say, please use this one for grading or final submission or things like that. All right, the next thing I want to do is move to the content area of the course. And this area here lists your overview, schedule, and your content. I am not going through the overview in these up here, but I'm going to go right to the syllabus. In the first part of the syllabus, the information that is in the overview is also listed in part of the syllabus, and you can go back and read that. So this course actually was just redone, and it's going to be very exciting and innovative. It's the same course with a little different types of assignments. So what we're looking at is basically informatics and healthcare, the theory behind healthcare informatics, how it's used, how it relates to patients, legal, ethical information, that type of thing. These are the 4 major drivers influencing healthcare right now. The Affordable Care Act had a big impact on informatics. And then electronic health records will be discussed in this class, and how we connect, how patients connect, those kinds of things. So you can take the time to read through this in more detail. These are the course goals, and at the end of this 8 weeks, you should be very comfortable in being able to do all these things. There are no prerequisites for this class, and your textbook, which you can get through VitalSource, is this textbook right here. At the bottom of your page, you have information about the discussion points, discussion forums. The discussion forums, the initial post is to be done by Thursday, as I mentioned earlier, 11:59 Mountain Standard Times, and then you are to, for each discussion question, you are to reply to 2 other classmates, and that can be done after Thursday. Please remember that if you do not respond to the discussion question and by the 7th day, you will not, you could result from dismissal from the course. I think you'll find the discussion board a really fun place where you can interact with your classmates and share information, and it's a great learning experience. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I talked to you about when I was available. I talked to you about my course policies. I will let you go through and read all these things when you have some time. This just gives you an idea of how to be successful. And one of the things I had done in my past was I am master certified to teach online education at a graduate level. And I took a year's courses in that, and the courses were extremely intense, and I was working full-time. So I understand the need to be organized and to kind of set up a schedule. This is a virtual classroom that you're in, so you have to be trained as far as showing up to your own computer and doing your work. What I hate to see is discussion posts all done on the last day within the last few hours, because then you're really not getting the information out of the class that you really should. So try to reply earlier in the week than when it's getting down to the wire. I'm going to take you through Module 1 and Module 8. Module 1, there are 8 modules, Module 1 being the first module. This talks a little bit about the basics, what you need to do. When you click onto your links, it will give you an overview of what you are expected to do for this week, your reading assignment. The next link will take you to your discussion question, and this will talk to you about the techniques of the discussion question, how to post it, that type of thing. And we already have some people posting, so I'm not going to I'll go there real quick, pass that up if I can, and we will go to the part where it tells you about your assignment, and that is you have this, the focus for your assignment is to answer these 4 questions, but not just answer the questions. You are to provide insight into what you've read, any additional resources, and your thoughts on the chapter. It's always good to have references within your paper because you will be, you're required to have like a title page, a reference page, and this would be the body of the paper. The other thing that's in this class, and this is a big assignment that you really need to be working on throughout the semester, is your class project presentation. And you will be doing this throughout the class, and each step it talks about what you should be doing on week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. So please do not save this for the last week. It's way too much work. Have a place on your computer where you can store this. If you're really computer savvy, you could maybe use a website. Otherwise, decide how you want to go about it. You will be using a screencast. I'm going to go back to that format, which I'm actually using right now, and it is extremely easy to use. So I would suggest practicing with Screencast-O-Matic, deciding how you're going to upload your class, your presentation, and practice with it with something else. I'll get back to that in a minute. So week 8 varies a little bit because this is the week you have your class project and your overview of the class. So you do have a discussion question, but you also will have your project, which is due, and that is explained under the assignment. So this is that information there. And again, start working on that earlier in the course. So 2 things I do want to talk to you about that I did not cover and I think are very important. One is in the discussion question. You do have a rubric when it comes to the discussion questions, and you can follow the rubric. The discussion rubric is listed here. But in addition to the rubric, what I want to see is a post that is about 400 words, that you have a citation with a reference. I do like it if you ask a question at the end of your post so that you encourage critical thinking among your classmates. When you reply to your 2 other classmates, if that's the minimum, you can reply to as many as you want. Please address the person by name, hello Diane, or great post, whatever Diane, so that we are using netiquette, and remember to remain civil throughout the post. And that basically covers what I expect in a post. And the other thing I want to go over very quickly is the Screencast-O-Matic. Those directions are at the bottom of this page here, and that's what you'll be using for your final project. Like I said, it's a very easy tool to use. However, it's free if you stay within the 15-minute time frame. If you go over, then you do have to pay. So again, practice with that. So this finishes this brief orientation. If you do have any questions, please email me, and welcome to the class. I think you'll find these next 8 weeks very exciting and a great addition to your nursing career.